Ladies and gentlemen, before I get to Mitt Romney and historic corruption, and Mitt Romney and how Mitt Romney is going to run for president again in 2024 and lose again, this time in the primary. He's not going to become nominee because those days are over. There's no way I would ever vote for a Mitt Romney or a Marco Rubio. But I would vote for president. I am voting for President Trump because he's not really a Republican. And I say this because he wants to bring Americans home from never-ending counterinsurgency conflicts. He's stated that he signed a deal to end the Bush, President Obama foreign policy catastrophes of the past 20 years. Well, we can go, Mitt Romney would never do that, Marco Rubio, Ted Cruz, none of them would ever do that. That's the biggest reason I'm voting for President Trump. In addition to the fact that Trump doesn't care about the media. In fact, he gives the media fits. He gives the Democratic Party and media fits. Now, before I get to that, because Roger Stone, his sentence should have been commuted. And it's good. That is the rule of law. The rule of law states that Michael Flynn should be vindicated. The rule of law states that Roger Stone shouldn't be sent to jail. The rule of law dictates that you cannot set up and frame people on a fantasy and a myth and a hoax that was literally purchased by your direct political rival. So Clinton was Trump's direct political rival, and she purchased the dossier. And then they utilized not just the dossier, but a whole bunch of nonsense pertaining to CrowdStrike. We'll get to that in a second. But this is really important. I will have made the biggest political call of all time. Look at Trump's profile now. And, oh, by the way, they're calling Trump supporters a cult, which is really hilarious when you have J.K. Rowling and Noam Chomsky begging the cult on the left to please allow debate. If you're voting for Trump, he doesn't, nobody cares. You can vote for Trump for whatever reason you want. It's not a cult. I'm voting for Trump primarily, for a bunch of reasons, but because of foreign policy, infinitely better than President Obama's foreign policy. Just ask the people of Libya. And Bush's foreign policy, which was a catastrophe, Bush, Cheney, and Rumsfeld, that was furthered by President Obama. By the way, if you want to support my work, my Patreon is below, ladies and gentlemen. And if you want to be part of a newsletter, that is below. Contact me, email me at contactgoodman78@gmail.com. That's contactgoodman78@gmail.com. And I'll go ahead and put. I'm starting a newsletter soon. I have to finish my website, which I will very soon, and there will be a newsletter as well. So, share my Times of Israel article below. Hillary Clinton, not Biden, will be nominee, and my Huffington Post article written in 2017. Hillary Clinton 2020 is a reality. Get ready for 8 years of Trump. It's going to be 2016 all over again. Now, if you don't believe me, just look at what President Trump tweeted today. 2016 all over again, and he totally obliterates, just absolutely decimates Biden, which is kind of funny because you're talking about somebody who looks and communicates like an exhumed body. Biden has all the charm and charisma of a cadaver that was given Botox injections and plastic surgery. And communicates in the same manner. Nobody understands what Biden ever says. Now, they can go after President Trump and say, oh, Trump is worse. That's not gonna fly come November 3rd. They're going to lose. They are going to lose come November 3rd. And they're doing the same. Even, one of the Democratic congresswomen who worked under John Brennan stated that she doesn't believe the polls. Then you had a couple one Michigan representative, Debbie Dingell, And Whitmer in Michigan, the governor, said, yeah, they don't believe the polls either. The Democratic Party knows that the polls are complete and utter nonsense. George Rivera Jr. Romney, didn't he take her? I'm not sure. I know some people who did, but I'm not sure about Romney. I don't think so. George Rivera Jr. I don't think so. George Rivera Jr. I don't think Romney did, actually. But the thing with Romney is that I'll get to that, throughout this segment. George Rivera Jr., thank you so much, as always. Hope you're having a great weekend. George Romney wants to become president. He tried. See, he thinks that he thinks the media could, he thinks that media can overcome the deficit that he has in terms of charisma. Mitt Romney is a mildly more charismatic version of Al Gore, who's mildly somewhat more entertaining than watching paint dry. So these people, like, they truly think, George and everybody here, they truly think that they can run again. I mean, he wants to, George Rivera Jr., thank you, as always, he wants to run again. But see, that's the whole thing. Romney wants to run again because he thinks that he would be the perfect candidate after President Trump, But I'll tell you this, ladies and gentlemen. Hillary Clinton is going to be nominee, and it's happening. Look at what I just was reading this, looking at this right now. If you look at President Trump, his Twitter profile, George Rivera Jr., thank you again, as always. Look what he just tweeted out, and it's so funny because it's, like, very true. First of all, he uses part of Clinton's 3 a.m. ad, which actually was a racist, subliminal dog whistle, and attempt at trying to gain the votes of Southern Democrats while she was running against President Obama. But see, they don't have their value systems are malleable, just like the definitions of words that they use all the time. They're flawed analogies. They're absurd analogies. They're weak arguments. They're not even arguments. They're just, emotional spats or tirades. But he has a Biden unfit to lead. And, of course, you just wait. Tomorrow, you better watch it now because tomorrow, it'll be viewed as a, spliced up video, and it'll be like against the policies, Mr. Dorsey's policies, but it is horrendous. It's basically the vice president trying to say something, and even David Axelrod stating, he's basically one fry short of a Happy Meal. But here, 2016, here we go again. Why do you think even Mark Dice writes Russian bot number 3,974 reporting for duty, sir. That's so funny. But why do you think why do you think that he's writing 2016 all over again? 2016, here we go again. Clinton does not have to do anything. They are going to go and beg Madam Secretary. Do you understand, ladies and gentlemen? They don't have to do anything. So George Rivera Jr., thank you. J Spot J. Romney would be a great car salesman. Yeah, he would put his dog on the roof of his car, like he did traveling to Canada. I think it was 12 hours or 10 hours. I don't know how many hours. The poor dog was on the roof of the car. Yeah, J Spot J. Thank you. But 2016, here we go again. Why did President Trump say that he knew why President Obama didn't endorse Biden? Remember when he said that? Remember when Clinton said about a year ago, I'd like to be president? Remember when Clinton said a couple days ago she would have done better in the pandemic? Remember just a couple months back she was saying she's under tremendous pressure to run? Remember, I keep saying since 2017, and it was confirmed by 538, they do not have to vote for Biden on the first round, ladies and gentlemen. The big story here is the following. Romney probably knows that Clinton's going to tank the entire Democratic Party. Romney says, look, people don't want anyone controversial. I am, the salt of the earth, wonderful person. The only thing they have on Romney is that he put his dog on the top of his car like a very humane person and drove 10 hours. He's not, what is it, Pierre Delecto? That's the worst thing he's ever done. So, John Connolly! Thanks to you, if Hillary's the nominee, I'll be... John Connolly! John, I think it's going to be good for you and for me and for everybody. It'll be good for humanity. John Connolly, thank you very much for your generosity, and thank you for watching always. Thank you. Oh, I just want to thank you, John, for your show of support for my wife. I was watching, H.A. Badman was watching a documentary last night on one of the great presidents we've ever had, me, Bubba Bill Clinton, and how what I said was technically right. What is I did not have relations. Did not, meaning did not as in not currently having relations, but did not in the past. And what is. So there you go. John Connolly, thank you. But I think that hello. I think that John and George Rivera Jr. and I think that when Clinton becomes nominee, Romney is going to be like, because Romney, he's intelligent. He doesn't possess wisdom or charisma, but he's more charismatic. Joe Biden makes Mitt Romney look like Liberace. So he is more charismatic than Joe Biden. So, but you watching right now, everyone is more charismatic than Joe Biden. So Romney is saying the following: look, I haven't broken a million laws like Madam Secretary. And controversy doesn't follow me like the Clintons. And I'm not boorish and rude and crude and mean like Trump. And I'm a little bit more articulate and charismatic and personable and amiable than Biden. So I fill a void in the lives of most Americans, especially conservatives. Conservatives want me. Republicans want me. Look at my coiffed hair. Look at my nicely coiffed hair. I have nice hair. My name is Mitt Romney. I drink milk. And I am and look at my suits are absolutely perfectly hemmed. And I'm a good Republican. You won't see me tweeting. You won't see me paying Stormy. Like some people, the Orange Menace. No, not me. I'll bring this country back to when conservatives and liberals held hands and helped take this country into never-ending conflict together. That's what he's thinking of. Kaylee Smith! Slick Willie looks great in that blue dress. Kaylee Smith! Oh my goodness, you know what? That's what happens when you have too much tequila. And you have Picasso's, or what I should say, Salvador Dali's great-grandsons, friends, proctologists, a neighbor, do a portrait of me. And we were just having a good time, and they said, hey, Billy, why don't you freshen up a little bit and get ready for your self-portrait? And so that's embarrassing. Thank you, Kaylee Smith. Thank you. Historic corruption. 2 Republican senators denounce Trump's commutation of Stone. I have never heard, like when Bush and Cheney and Rumsfeld were plunging the entire country and world into never-ending conflict, you never heard words like denounce, outrage, condemn, the walls are closing in. This is a travesty, a tragedy. Denounce, condemnation, judgment. Like, they have maybe like this God complex or something. They truly think, like, this is the best. One of the best things about Trump is he doesn't care. He does not care. Do you understand? That is such a good thing. Trump does not care. John Connolly, thank you again, John. Trump does not care. He does not care. He doesn't care what anyone thinks of him. And because the media doesn't, like, he never worked with Russia. There's no evidence that he ever withheld military assistance to go after Biden. Biden is a horrendous candidate who won't be nominee. It'll be Hillary Clinton. Those people in August in the centennial of the 19th Amendment are not going to vote for Biden. The pledged delegates are going to find some way. Something's going to happen. There's going to be some reason why they go with Clinton, who was the popular vote winner and who was Russia stole the election from her. Do you understand? Do you understand? Russia stole the election. She had the election. She was like, "Oh, election, yay!" And then Russia said, "Oh, give me that election." It's a horrible Russian accent, but they said, Vladimir Putin said, "Give me the election." And the election was taken from her. Are you going to let Putin decide the fate of the United States of America? Are you a patriot? Do you love this country? Because Biden jumped into the reflecting pool without any clothes on. So what are you going to do now? Who do we have? Beto O'Rourke? He's fantastic. He had a DUI. He's really good. Who else? Bernie Sanders? No, Russia likes him. And he would never do anything to bother the DNC anyway. Agent Pepsi won! I agree with you. The DNC won't run Biden. They can only get rid of him without serious voter losses unless he... But in a figurative sense, Agent Pepsi won. Yeah, exactly. They can only get rid of him without serious voter losses. Exactly. But see, Agent Pepsi won. I don't think that they care. See, there's this notion that they certainly wouldn't. They certainly wouldn't cheat the voters. The voters didn't vote for Biden. They voted against Bernie Sanders and President Trump. That's it. This whole thing was the most elaborate charade of all time. And it was so easily viewed. It's so overt. Agent Pepsi won as always. Thank you. It's so overt. They get 20 people, 30 people, Bill de Blasio, Eric Swalwell. He passes gas on national television. It was actually, I do believe it was, what's his name, Chris Matthews. And then eventually Biden becomes the nominee because they have utter contempt for Bernie Sanders, who loves them. It doesn't matter what they do to Bernie. He comes back. Mitchell Smith! Good evening, H.A. Mittens will have to run for president in 2020 if he knows Utah will not reelect him. Mitchell Smith! I think that he's going to run for president in 2024, exactly. I also think that when you look at Mitt Romney, you're looking at a very personable dinosaur, a charismatic dinosaur. Mitt Romney has a better chance of winning the Republican nomination than Ted Cruz or Marco Rubio. But that doesn't mean he has a good chance of winning the Republican nomination, and that certainly doesn't mean he has any chance of winning the presidency. But the only thing, he has the name recognition. He's already run for president. He already got around 60 million votes. So the way he looks at it is that, well, if I can get 5 million more votes, I win. I mean, if you look at Romney and, but there's nothing populist about him. There's nothing that is appealing to, there's nothing that's appealing to people. Mitt Romney got almost 61 million votes. Trump got just under 63 million. So, ladies and gentlemen, I mean, I've said this before. Think of it from Mitt Romney's perspective. Mitchell Smith. Think of it from Mitt Romney's perspective. He got 60,933,504 votes. If you or I got 60 million people to vote for us, for anything, that's why Clinton's going to be nominee, in addition to the psychological and emotional profile of somebody who will never, ever, 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 ever stop attaining political power and influence. But, oh my God, can the Democrats please hurry this up? So H.A. Goodman and H.A. Goodman's other channel and my writing and I'll be vindicated and this whole channel and my viewers, everything, it'll be fantastic. I will be literally the only person out of 33 million channels to tell you from 2017 until today. But Mitt Romney got 60,933,000. He almost got 61 million votes. President Trump just got under 63 million votes. So, Luke St. Martin, Eric H526, Luke St. Martin, hello, the two best moderators in all of YouTube. If Sleepy Joe were more appealing, they wouldn't have to come after Donald Trump so hard. They are covering for Joe big time. Exactly. Luke St. Martin, they're propping him up. I call it Weekend at Biden's. They're propping him up. They're propping him up, Luke St. Martin. Exactly. And a great moderator and just two great moderators and people, Luke St. Martin and Eric H526. Just really, really awesome individuals who, I mean, you know, YouTube, the live streams on YouTube are actually more important for YouTube than any uploads. And the fact that I have live streams that always run properly, Luke St. Martin and Eric H526, thank you, gentlemen. Thank you. You guys are great moderators, and I call Luke St. Martin, quick draw Luke St. Martin, and the regulator Eric H526. Luke St. Martin, thank you again, sir. Thank you. I agree with you. They have nothing. They are propping up Biden. It's pretty unbelievable. And not only are they propping up Biden, but Hillary's right around the corner. Luke St. Martin, thank you. Old school dadman. Luke St. Martin, thank you so very much. And both, I mean, Luke St. Martin, Eric H526, they give super chats. I mean, they do so much on this channel. It's just so awesome. Thank you for just being the best moderators. Moderators are I urge everyone to start their channel, do live streams, have fun. Moderators, you need good moderators. Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you, Luke. Thank you. Old school dad man. Over is 50 total Dems and GOP running. Old school dad man. I bet that's 75. 75. They're going to get 70. It'll be Bill de Blasio and his like, everybody he knows. And then, they're just going to, it's going to be Mitt Romney and Michael Dukakis will also run for the Democrats. It'll be John Kerry will run again. Old school dad man, thank you. Philly James won. Do you think the same 60 million people voted for Romney voted for Trump? Yes. 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 Yes, sir. Almost all. I think maybe a couple million voted for Clinton. But I would say almost all, because President Trump has taken over the Republican Party. The difference is the following. The voters will go Republican, but the message that the voters will adopt is different. Phil James won. Thank you. Doug. H.A., I believe cheating will be a huge factor. We could have 5.8 million, along with several million fraudulent mail votes. Well, Doug, I don't think we'll have an issue in terms of. I don't think we'll have that many votes that are not legal. But I do think that there could be fraudulent mail votes. But, Doug, here's the issue. It has to be really close. I think that if it's within 2 to 3 million, it could be close. But that's the popular vote. It has to be close in about 5 or 6 states. So, Doug, thank you. Jimbo! Surely the hype for HSC will have to start soon. Jimbo, it does. I'm waiting also. Jimbo. By the way, Jimbo, are you telling all the wonderful people in Australia to watch me? I think the BAL boys and you are just, my viewership has increased. So I just want to thank you and thank the people, the Australians watching my channel. Thank you. They only have a memory span of 3 days, so they're waiting until August. If they go with Biden, and I'm not a fan of the Clintons, but Hillary could win the election if President Trump retweets something horrendous a day before or a week before or whatever, and then there's some other calamity that they blame on Trump. But I think President Trump's going to win the election. But if it's Biden, they instantly lose the popular vote and lose the Electoral College. So it's going to happen, but it'll happen, I think, maybe like a week, 2 weeks prior to the the convention. Jimbo, thank you. KW, they are buying their time. Exactly. They are buying their time, big time. They are buying their time. KW, Jimbo, Philly James 1, Doug Barnard, Old School Dadman, Luke St. Martin, Kaylee Smith, William Holloway, I didn't see you. Biden passes gas and Romney speaks. Is that coincidental or not? Make sure you're here on November 3rd, the place to be. Trump beats Hillary twice. Exactly. William Holloway. I'm glad I looked back up. I didn't see the message. William, thank you, sir. Well, William, thank you. Hillary's going to be nominee. I say it every day because unlike people who don't like Trump, I love Hillary Clinton. She's a fantastic human being. The criminal acts and all that stuff, I'm just going to put aside. And, when I watch Star Wars, I say, Darth Vader is an awesome character. So she's like the Darth Vader of politics. Or the Decepticons. Or the a Cobra commander of politics. William Holloway! Nobody on YouTube has more respect and admiration for Madam Secretary than I do. So, and she's going to lose again to President Trump. But I have more respect for Hillary Clinton than I do for Bernie Sanders. A lot more respect. At least her never-ending quest, her political ambition, not seen since Attila the Hun. At least she's honest with her unbridled, perpetual quest for political influence. Unlike Bernie, who's like, got a small favor to ask of you. I got a small favor to ask of you. You want to know what my small favor is? I want you to give me $1. And you want to know when you get Medicare for all? When the Messiah comes. But then again, you won't need it then, because the Messiah will be here. Ah! William Holloway, thank you! Agent Pepsi 1, stop insulting Darth Vader. Hail Cobra, no PhD Coyote. Yeah. Do you remember the episode where Destro and Cobra Destro launches a revolt? Yes. If you know what I'm talking about, you are awesome. Big Booty, one of the great names here. Thank you for watching from Queensland, Australia. Thank you. So, Mitt Romney. I love Mitt Romney so much. We're going to listen to him right now, accept the nomination. Mitt Romney, the good Republican, he's a good Republican. Nobody's better than Mitt Romney. He's a good Republican, Mitt Romney. He has nicely coiffed hair, and he doesn't tweet. That's Pierre Delecto who tweets. Pierre Delecto is really Mitt Romney. Oh my God. Mitt Romney, acceptance speech. Yeah. And now the soulful sounds of Mittens Romney. Yay! Mittens. Oh, I love this. Oh, Paul Ryan. He's a fantastic human being. Rise Serpentor, yes. Doug, yes. Yes, no PhD Coyote. Okay, so here, Mitt Romney's fantastic. He's also somebody I have utmost respect for. You know who I would vote for? A Clinton-Romney ticket, because I think that needs to happen. That would be a great thing for the country. Clinton Mittens. Oh, I know. I think that's great. Okay, hold on a second. So listen. Let's listen to Mitt Romney. What did you do to deserve this? Nothing. I shouldn't put you through this, but I will. Why would I do this to my audience? Because I'm not a nice person.
Every family in America wanted this to be a time when they could get a little ahead, put aside a little more for college, do more for the elderly mom that's now living alone, or give a little more to their church, to their charity. Every small business wanted these to be their best years ever, when they could hire more, do more for those who had stuck with them through the hard times, open a new store, or sponsor that Little League team. Every new college graduate thought they'd have a good job by now, a place of their own. They could start paying back some of their loans and build for the future. This is when our nation was supposed to start paying down the national debt and rolling back those massive deficits. This was the hope and change America voted for. It's not just what we wanted. It's not just what we expected. It's what Americans deserved.
Mittens, mittens, mittens. So this is one reason why he didn't win. My God, is he dry and boring? Oh, my Lord, my Lord. He's barely above Biden level. Oh, my God.
That this just wasn't right. But what could you do except work harder, do with less, try to stay optimistic, hug your kids a little longer, maybe spend a little more time praying that tomorrow would be a better day. I wish President Obama had succeeded because I want America to succeed.
He has no chance. He has no chance to Agent Pepsi, thank you. He has no chance to ever get close to the nomination again, because he doesn't have any. There's no message. There's no charisma. There's no nothing. Except Eric H526, Clinton has more charisma. So let's just listen. Look, I know it's annoying here. We'll get to the good. This is the best part. This is the best part of Romney's speech. I know. What did you do? What did you do to deserve this? But here.
I will begin my presidency with a jobs tour. President Obama began his presidency with an apology tour.
Oop.
America, he said, had dictated to other nations. No, Mr. President, America has freed other nations from dictators.
Yes!
Every American.
Nobody can quell down a USA chant like Romney. He's like, quiet down. Enough with that. I'm speaking.
President, he said we should talk to Iran. United America can unleash an economy that will put Americans back to work.
We had record low unemployment before the pandemic.
That will once again lead the world with innovation and productivity, and that will restore every father and mother's confidence that their children's future is brighter even than the past. That America, that united America, will preserve a military that's so strong no nation would ever dare to test it.
All right, so you have, ladies and gentlemen, Doug Barnard. H.A. Romney wrote, yeah, in Boston. Most don't know. That's right, Doug, that's right. Old school dad, man, I deserve legalization in Texas. I want the whole country to have it legalized. Although Biden doesn't want that, which is funny. But it's hilarious. The way, they're not going with Biden. That's absurd. They don't care about a primary. They'll just do something. Kaylee Smith. The amount of people don't know Creepy Joe wrote the crime bill. Shocking. Exactly, Kaylee. Exactly. Elroy shredding. Hello. Exactly. Ebenezer Adams. Exactly. Kaylee Smith. You're 100% right. And they've already forgotten what Romney said on the in the Charlemagne interview. They have forgotten everything pertaining to Romney. I mean, it is really remarkable. It's really remarkable how all they do is they prop up anything. They prop up Biden. Like, for example, I think the New York Times has something like, "Oh yeah, why Trump is having such a difficult time." Why Trump is having such a difficult time trying to paint Biden or describe Biden. It's like, No, he's not. Biden does it all for himself. I do urge everyone, watch Russell Brand's. He's not a fan of President Trump, but this is actually an interesting segment from Russell Brand. He's not a Trump supporter, but he actually objectively explains. He misses a little bit, but he's like 65, 70, 75% right on why President Trump has infinitely more charisma than Biden and most other Democrats. So let me see. Did I even? Gosh, the link is the link working? I don't think the link is working. Let me delete that. But he has the actor and comedian and a whole does a whole bunch of things, but he has a segment, Why the Left Can't Handle Donald Trump, Russell Brand. It's June 26th. It's already 506,000 views. He has 2.36 million subscribers. But he has the best understanding of Trump of any person on the left. And I think that he would view himself to be far left, but the far left I don't think would view him to be far left. But or maybe they would, I'm not sure. But he has a great segment on why the left can't handle Donald Trump. It's on YouTube. And it's one of the very few retrospective looks from the left on why they can't handle Trump. They can't handle President Trump because Trump doesn't care about what, they think of him. Eliza Slotkin is sounding the alarm. Will Democrats listen? So she's right. She's a former intelligence official. She's 100% right. And I'm sure that she and others know that that Hillary Clinton's going to be nominee. The entire 4 years has been a giant charade by Democrats. A giant charade. Let's see here. Look at what he's tweeting out today, ladies and gentlemen. 2016 all over again. Why do you think he tweeted that out? Why do you think he tweeted out the 3 a.m. ad using it against Clinton? Because he knows what's happening. Folks, he knows what's happening. It is going to be amazing. Amazing. It is going to be so amazing. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Goya, oh man, Goya is amazing. Goya is amazing. Go and look, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, this is New York Times. How defining Biden has become a struggle for Trump. I have to read this. This is so funny. They really convinced themselves that Trump's on the ropes. If you have any message contrary to, like whenever you type in Trump, go to images, you'll see like Trump with like his face contorted, and he's like making all these. He's angry, you know. But you see Biden, which like there's like a million different pictures of him that could be like him wandering off into space, but it's like, you know, tough. And they always have these right stuff photograph shots of these like right stuff poses. For every Democratic politician's like, yes, happy. Even when you type in me, like pictures of me, I mean, nobody knows who I am, but because I was a Bernie Sanders supporter, then a President Trump supporter, they're like, just like, oh, there's only pictures from hit pieces, like, I'm like this, like that. It's always like, you always have to be contorted. There's always, the images are always like horrible of you. But let's read this. With only 6 weeks to the Republican National Convention, President Trump has yet to find a framework for attacking his opponent. Really? Really? I don't think they realize the entire country knows that, what's his name, is one fry short of a Happy Meal. President Trump won the White House in no small part by seizing on Hillary Clinton's missteps and using them to turn many voters against her. No, that's not why he won. It has nothing to do. Don't you love the first sentence? Well, those, you know, Clinton never actually misstepped. Clinton didn't have any horrible attributes or never committed any, you know, horrendous acts. It's just, you know, he had a way of seizing on missteps. But after 3 unsteady months and with the Republican convention 6 weeks away, Mr. Trump is struggling to define Joseph R. Biden Jr. Who calls? If you said to somebody, do you know who Joseph R. Biden Jr. is? To most people, they wouldn't know who he is. Joe Biden? Yeah, maybe. Probably. It's a similarly devastating effect, a critical task at this stage of a presidential race. No, it's not. No, it's not a critical task now. People, for some reason, have a shorter memory. Like, the memory span of people, like, decreases every year in politics. And it won't even be, they've convinced themselves it's going to be Biden. It'll be Clinton. And then when Clinton, look, if you think that's absurd, they're propping up somebody who couldn't win. Biden couldn't become mayor of your city. The mayor of your city right now, whether you like him or her or dislike him or her, is the mayor of your city has more energy and more charisma and more can communicate his thoughts in a more direct manner and is more just amiable or personable than Biden. This is partly because Mr. Biden has run such a low-profile campaign. Don't you know that it's called low-profile? It's not called a placeholder. He's not a placeholder until Clinton's ready. It's just a low-profile campaign. Hidden for time! As a Mitt Romney Republican, I love Mitt's outrage. It makes me feel young, relevant, and just so much better than everyone else. Exactly. Hidden for time. Hidden for time. Thank you. Yeah. Well, there was, I mean, we heard there was such a lack of energy there. There was such a lack of energy. It's just really unbelievable. Such a lack of energy. There's such a lack of energy with establishment Republicans and Democrats, and they're like, that's why when Trump said low energy Jeb, it was so funny. And then like you know, anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I'll be back at around 11 p.m., people. Luke St. Martin, Eric H526. Thank you so very much, everyone. Hope you're having a great evening, everybody. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you. I will see you in about... Check out H.A. Goodman's other channel right now. Below is the link. I have a great segment on there. And tell your friends about H.A. Goodman's other channel. And ladies and gentlemen, if you want to support my voice long term, my Patreon is below. People, I will be back. I'll be back at around, I'd say, probably around 11 p.m. tonight, Pacific. So in about an hour and a half. So be here in an hour and a half, everybody.